The reason why we don't have an industry here in South Africa, star power. If you look at Mandela, you think, Idris Elba, which one is this one? I hated the fact that I'd never seen South Africans play their own heroes. I'm just saying, like, why are we not good enough to tell our own stories? That's insane to me. South African actors suck at garnering an audience. It's the truth. That content creator being there, now I know that at least 50,000 people will watch my movie just from her.
I heard you say right now that you are a Pan-Africanist and you love history.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, how did you get yourself in the right headspace to prepare for the role, Solomon Mahlangu, when you're so attached to the history of it all, and when it's something that you're passionate about, like...
How hard was it?
Yeah.
This is not going to be popular. No one's going to like it. It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard, guys. I'm sorry to say this. I'm not one of those, I suffer with the role, and then I had to stay in Mkuku for 6 years. No, I'm not that guy. Guys, it's a job, man. It's as hard as it is for anyone who has to get onto a taxi and go get to their job that has barely any benefits and come back. It's no different from any Uber driver who's responsible for your life driving you. To say what I do is hard is ridiculous when people are really doing stuff out there. So it wasn't hard, okay? I was on a movie set. They paid me pretty decently. They fed me and they transported me. I was good, okay? But in terms of what it meant to me, I can tell you that I hated the fact that I'd never seen South Africans play their own heroes. That inspired everything I've done now. I think if you look at Mandela, you think, Idris Elba, which one is this one? You know, you look at Steve Biko, the only person like that we know is like Denzel, you know? And I just got sick of seeing our own heroes played by, and respect to all these guys, right? Mandela, you know? And respect to these great actors. And I understand it wasn't their fault. I don't hate them. You know, I don't think, I'm just saying, like, why are we not good enough to tell our own stories? That's insane to me. And I mean, I want a kid from Kwakwa, from wherever, Tabanchu, wherever, to be able to say, hey, this is my hero. I see someone who looks like me, who comes from a place like me, who can play that hero. So for me, Kalushi was big. I knew I had a responsibility to show them that we can make this movie successful. And they can't say, no, we can't hire South Africans because they won't bring bums on seats. That's the term they love you. They love that one, bums on seats. So for me, Kalushi was to honor this unspoken, this young man. No one knew his story. I didn't even know his story until I did the movie. I didn't know. When I found out, I'm like, we have these brand name liberation heroes. I'm going to say this. Kalushi is the story of the innocent bystander. Because if you actually watch the movie, Solomon in that movie doesn't actually do anything to push the story forward. That's actually Thabo's character that does that pushes the story forward. But Kalushi was interesting, and Solomon specifically, because I saw someone who didn't want to be a liberator, who didn't want to be those things, forced into it. And if you think about it, that was the true reality of most of those kids there. No one wants to be a freedom fighter. No one wants to leave their mothers and their houses to go do this thing. Nobody wants that. So he was appealing to me for that reason. So hopefully we'll honor those guys and to show the world that it's not just these guys from this political party that did this. Everyone fought for where we are right now.
Why do you think the acting industry right now is comfortable with casting content creators and influencers instead of real actors?
I'm going to counter you. Why not, Shimmy? Okay, so you have people who know how to garner an audience. Actors suck at that. That's the truth. South African actors suck at garnering an audience. It's the truth. Content creators are really good at getting an audience. What if we put all those people in a room? These guys learn this skill. These guys learn this skill. I think that's called a movie star. So how do you do it is you exchange skills. It's again that thing of like, why are you doing this? You're seeing the negative thing instead of getting the information. It goes back to that thing I was talking about earlier on. I never look at a situation and see the negativity. I'm like, what are the advantages of the situation? And if you notice, they never just cast the content creator as the lead character because they know they can't pull off a whole story for a whole movie. But there's the best friend or the mang. But here's what you don't realize is that content creator being there with their 5 million views every video, 100,000 million views, everything. They're helping that actor. Because the audience of this content creator now knows this actor. And the next time they see this actor in the next movie, they're going to watch that movie. But guess what? Now the acting audience, the people who are there for the actor, like, hey, this content creator actually didn't do too bad. I'm going to go check out the content. So everybody wins. And I know Ndate Jerry said this stuff, and I was just like, that's the wrong approach. I actually think the same about South Africa. We are already here. To tell the white people to go home is too late now. It's gonna pass now. We're here now. Telling the Indians to go, they're here now. But what if, in a weird way, we use the stereotype? I'm going to use stereotypes now, and I apologize. Oh, we know this group of people are really good at this. We know this group of people are really good at this. Why don't we just take everybody who's really good at something, do that, and put them together and make a really cool South Africa? The South African rugby team is literally a symbolization of that, and look how well it does. The most successful South African rugby team is the most diverse one there has ever been. With a black captain, black wingers, colored, everyone is there except the Indians. You just need to just eat more. Eat more, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. We're coming. You're coming. I know, Rajiv, you're coming. But what I'm saying is, I would challenge you to move away from the why aren't they doing this? Why are they doing this? Is like, hey, why should they do this? And why are they doing this? And you'll realize they're bringing that because they want to get audiences, but they just need to manage it better. And I'd say apply that to everything with you as well. You know, I say, don't nyatsa that content creator. All right. In fact, one that I put in a movie is behind you now. Yeah, she's a content creator. She's YouTuber of the year. She's in a movie. I put her in for that very reason. Her videos average 100,000 video. In my movie, there's a part where someone gets cancelled. I watched her content. I loved her content. I was like, I mean, why don't we just get her doing what she really does and put her in the movie? Now I know that at least, even if half of 100,000, 50,000 people will watch my movie just from her. So why not?
Calling out all content creators, from artists to podcasters to any creator who uses any form of audio. You can now upload your very own audio clip from a song to a content clip and promote your work using the MTN Call to Choose platform. Get as creative as you want with MTN Call to Choose and AM Studios.
If we compare Nollywood and Bollywood movies, we are told that Nollywood is taking over.
Yeah.
So where are we as South African movies?
The Nollywood and Bollywood, fantastic industries, right? I mean, Bollywood is on another level. By the way, they compete with the American markets easily. They're different industries. We are nowhere close to those guys in terms of output. In terms of servicing and shooting and producing, we're up with the best. The quality of our product and what we can make the same as Americans, the same as Nollywood, the same as Bollywood, the same as anybody. I can easily say we're one of the best film countries in the world. But what they figured out, which is what we're still trying to figure out, is industry. They have profitable film industries. They turn over billions and billions. I mean, the Nollywood guys were so smart. They used the pirates. You know, people who pirate the DVDs. They use their own distribution form. They're like, okay, listen, my brother, come through. I'll give you a disc of the movie. Just buy it from me. You can make as many copies as you want. Oh, you buy it from me, make it. And all of a sudden, now the movie's seen. You see it now. Go norte. You pick it up. It's there. They were so smart using conventional African systems there. Bollywood also, they applied the same thing and kept to their own ethos. They're like, actually, we just like singing and dancing and bright colors. Our culture represents that, so they've done it. And they've been able to turn that into like billions. So I think we are far away from them as an industry, but we're going to get there eventually. We just need to own more stuff. It's that ownership thing. They own their own stuff. We don't own it. Us, the people who own our movies are the companies. It's not the people. It starts and ends with one thing. And it's the reason why we don't have an industry here in South Africa. Star power. That's the difference. In South Africa, we don't like treating our actors as stars, making them stars, because we don't want them to get big heads. We like to shut them down, whatever. What you don't realize is this is how star power works economically. And you'll see that they do this in America all the time. There's this kid called Timothy Chalamet. Warner Brothers will do a movie with him, and they're like, I think this guy's going to be good. And then they say, hey, Universal, you should use this kid. It's like, okay, we'll use him. And these are competitors, by the way. Netflix, there's this boy called Timothy. Oh, he's the new one. Yeah. He's the new one. And everyone backs this kid. Why? Because he's going to be in the Warner Brothers movie. He's going to bring fans. Then he's going to take those fans to the Universal movie. Now he's brought fans. Then the guys from the Universal movie are going to go back to go watch the other movie now. And then he's going to go to the Netflix. Now those guys are also... Now all of a sudden, they're all sharing a fan base. They're all making money off one entity. Now he's a commodity that you can attach to a project and have a sale. Leonardo DiCaprio, he's got a $20 million fee. No matter what your movie budget is, you must give him $20 million. You know why? He knows not a single movie he's ever made has made less than $500 million. You can check. So you already know this 20 million guarantees me 500 million. The star system isn't to blow up someone's ego. It's for you to be smart enough to say, no, this person's got to be desirable to the audience so that they can go spend their money and watch this person. And if we're smart enough, creating enough stars, which is what they have in Ashura Rai and Amir Khan and all these other guys, that side, they know that if they put those guys there, they're going to be big. So they pay them well. So they make sure they go to gym. How many times, I'm sorry to say this, I'm one of them. Our actors, when they do a sex scene, you know what I mean? Where's the six pack, the bright pack, the Michael B. Jordan, you know? We can laugh about that, but the truth of the matter is, I'll give an example, Jonathan Majors. That guy made it off his body. He's a great actor, but like, we're like, oh, brother, you know? And you see how the whole industry started costing him in everything. And you were gonna watch it. It's like Denzel. You don't even need to know what the story is. You see Denzel, you press, you watch. But that's economic. That's not making Denzel feel like he's a superstar. It means those guys got their money back. The star system works. That's why we don't have an industry. So I always start with the talent. Good story, and the talent will go to a good story. Also in the movies I make, the stars that are there, I give them equity in the movie. I don't pay them the whole fee. I give them equity so they own it. They own a piece of it. I try to make sure they own something. If I go then to a Netflix or a multi-channel, I'm like, oh, I've got this movie. Oh, okay. It's starring Pearl Tusi. Like, okay, let me see it. Do you see what I mean? Pearl's name literally has an economic value. Oh, I've got Jesse Sundell. I've got Primo. Oh, who's Primo? He's this guy on Instagram. I'm like, oh, yeah? Yeah, he averages 19 million views a month. What? He's in your movie? Yes, even if we get 10%, that's 1.9 million people that are going to watch your movie. What? We're going to take this movie. I hope it doesn't suck too bad. We'll put it on there, but you've given us an audience. They don't care. They don't actually care that much about your movie. They care about how many people are going to watch it.
How do you think the streaming services have impacted the way people consume and interact with work? Mainly seeing that today's stories are more focused on getting numbers and done teaching our youth lessons and...
I hear you. You know, there are companies like Netflix is a tech company. They're not a content creation company. They have to pay bills at the end of the month, right? Our job as artists and creators is to make an entertaining movie that has a message in it. I think it was, who's this incredible African-American singer? I forgot her name now, but she said, you've got to hide the information in the music. You've got to hide the lesson in the music. And if you're smart, you can do that. I mean, look at Black Panther. Entertainment value, but they talk about really deep things there, right? So there's no reason why. And also, why do you want to just lecture to people? Entertain them. Let them go at home and then realize, oh, this thing is deep. If you're preaching to somebody, it's not going to work out, is what I think. So I hear you, but I think that's on us to find creative ways of making movies that are entertaining and educational.
The stories needs to teach the youth lessons, not to influence them into... Like, cause today's stories are mostly violence, sex, and, you know.
But that's us. We're the ones telling those stories. We're the ones who go pitch those stories to Netflix. We're the ones who go pitch those. That's us. That's us. And a lot of the times, I said this here and I promise I was never going to say this again. It's the reason I don't like telling Kasi stories. It's what I'm saying is I always get in trouble from this. I know. I'll tell you why. We've seen those already. I think we've seen them, like a lot of great filmmakers made them, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you think about the most successful show we've ever had in this country, it's Generations. You guys don't know. Generations was about a black family who owned an advertising agency, the best one in the country. It was based on aspiration. And for some weird reason, that's the longest running show in the country. It's about aspiration and being out of your, So the reason I don't tell I'm just like, I think this is the reality everyone lives in anyway. Give them a chance to escape and see what's possible outside of these walls, Let's see what's happening outside. And movies are the best way to travel, bro. Like, I advise you guys to watch movies from other countries. Even if you don't care about the movie, you're going to say, this in Nigeria. Oh, they live like this in France. They live like that. You get to travel. I couldn't afford a ticket to travel, bro. I used to watch movies and I knew I could learn the language from watching movies. So it's us, the stories we tell. It's all art is propaganda. All of it. All art is propaganda. We just have to control our propaganda. That's it.